Matter in our surroundings. Matter. What is matter? Matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. Classification of matter. How the matter is classified. Early Indian philosophers they classified matter in the form of five basic elements as earth, air, fire, sky and water, and these all are called as Panch Tattva. On the basis of the physical state of matter, matter is classified as solids, liquids, and gases. On the basis of chemical composition, matter is classified as pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances may be elements or compounds, and mixtures may be homogeneous mixtures or heterogeneous mixtures. Physical nature of matter. Matter is made up of particles. Small particles make up the matter. Particles of matter are very tiny. That means the size of particles which makes the matter, they are very small. Particles of matter have space between them. That means the two particles there is having some amount of space between them. Particles of matter are continuously moving. That means the particles are continuously in random motion. And the particles of matter attract each other. It means that there is a intermolecular attraction force between the particles of matter. Let's see all these. First, matter is made up of particles. This is explained by the activity. Take some water in a beaker and note its Take some water in a beaker and note its level. Dissolve some salt or sugar in it with the help of a glass rod so that the complete sugar or salt is dissolved in water. The salt dissolves in the water, but the level of water does not change. This is because the particles of water get into the spaces between the particles of water. As we have already studied that there is space between the particles of matter. So, in between the spaces of the particles of water, the salt particles gets their position. This shows that matter is made up of particles. Particles of matter are very tiny. For this, we'll understand by this activity. Dissolve 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate in 100 ml of water in a beaker. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water. Now here when we add 10 ml of the solution in 100 ml of water, dilution occurs and the change in the color takes place. That means the color becomes lighter. Then again we take the 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in another 100 ml of water. And this process is repeated 5 to 6 times. This shows that few crystals of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water because there are millions of tiny particles in each crystals. Particles of matter have space between them. But to show this, we have another activity. Take some water in a beaker and note its level. Then dissolve some salt or sugar in it with the help of a glass rod. The salt dissolves in the water, but the level of water does not change. This is because the particles of salt get into the space between the particles of water. So this shows that the particles of the sugar or salt which occupies between the particles of water. That means there is space between the particles of water. So we can say that the particles of matter have space between them. Particles of matter are continuously moving. That means the matter particles, they are continuous in random motion. For this, we'll study an activity. Take some water in a beaker. Put a drop of blue or red ink slowly along the sides of the beaker. Not in the center but along the sides of the beaker. And leave it undisturbed. That means we don't have to stir it by using the glass rod. After leaving for it undisturbed for some time of a few hours, we observe that the ink spreads evenly throughout the water due to the movement of the particles of water and ink. Here we have not stirred the water, but the spreading of the ink occurs by itself and the complete solution, or we say the complete color change, is observed, and this color change is due to the movement of the particles of ink as well as water, which results in intermixing of the two. As a result, the color of the water changes. So here the intermixing of the two or more different types of matter on their own is called diffusion. Particles of matter attract each other. This means that the particles have intermolecular attraction forces. For this, we take an activity. Take an iron nail, a piece of chalk, and a rubber band. Try breaking them by hammering, cutting, or stretching. It is more easier to break the chalk, less easier to break the rubber band because rubber is stretchable, and difficult to break the iron nail. This is because the particles in the iron nail, they are very tightly packed with each other. That means they are held together with a greater force than the rubber band or chalk. So here this means that the particles of matter, they are having the attraction force between them. Solids have maximum attraction force. Liquids have less attraction force in comparison to the solids, and gases have minimum attraction force, or we say no attraction force between the particles. States of matter. Matter exists in three different states: solids, liquids, and gases. Now here, first of all, we'll study about the properties of solids. Solids have definite shape and fixed volume. The space between the particles is minimum. That means particles of solids, they are very close to each other. That means there is no or minimum space between the particles of solids, which gives the solid a definite shape and a fixed volume. Though the particles of solid, they are very closely attached to each other, this is just because of the maximum attraction force. So here we say that the force of attraction between the particles of solid is maximum. The movement of the particle is minimum. When the particles of solid, they are strongly attracted with each other, so we can say that these particles are not free to move. Therefore, we say that the movement of the particle is minimum. Solids particles, they are least compressible. Means when the maximum attraction force is there, so particles are closely attracted to each other. So we cannot compress these particles. At last, we say that these particles of the solid, or we say that the solids are least compressible. They cannot be compressed because of minimum intermolecular space, and the rate of diffusion of solid is least. Properties of liquids. Liquids have no definite shape but have fixed volume. Liquids take the shape of the container. The space between the particles is intermediate. Intermediate here means that more than the solids and less than the gaseous particles. The force of attraction between the particles of the liquid is intermediate. That means the force of attraction in liquid is less than the solids and more than the gases. The movement of particle is intermediate. Again, we are comparing this with the gases and the solids. So we say that the particles of liquid, they are free to move. That means they can move freely, whereas in solids the particles are tightly packed. But the movement of the liquid particles is not that much free as compared to the gaseous particles. Liquids are less compressible. That means due to the presence of certain amount of space between the particles of liquids can be compressed, but this space is very less. So we say that the liquid particles, or we say the liquids, are less compressible. The rate of diffusion of liquid is more than solids. This is because of the less attraction force in liquids in comparison to the solids. Properties of gases. Gases have no definite shape or fixed volume because the particles of the gas are free from each other. They don't have any attraction force. So we say the gases have no definite shape or fixed volume. Gases occupy the whole space of the container. The space between the particle is maximum. That means the space between the two particles is maximum. It shows that the force of attraction between the particle is minimum. When the particles are not attracted to each other, they are free from each other. And when they are free from each other, they move away from each other, resulting in more space between them. And the movement of the particles of gases is maximum. When the movement of the particle is maximum, space between the particle of gas is maximum, we say that they are more compressible. Their rate of diffusion is more than solids and liquids. Here you can see the diagram that in the first, this one you can see in gases, you can see there is large space between the gaseous particles. So when the particles are moving away from each other, they are free from each other. Large space is there, whereas in liquid, little space is there between the particles. Over here you can see. And in the solids, the particles are compactly arranged. They have minimum space between them. Now, change of state. When solid is heated, it changes into liquid. And when liquid is heated, it changes into gas. Normally this thing happens. Okay, we know that when ice melts, it converts into water. And when water is heated, that water changes into vapor state. When gas is cooled, it changes to liquid. So when we condense the vapors, it changes to the liquid form. And when liquid is cooled down, that means when we put the liquid or water in the freezer, then what will happen? It changes into solid, that is ice. For example, if ice is heated, it changes into water. Okay, when we heat the ice, it changes into water. And when we heat the water, it changes into steam. And if steam is cooled down, it changes into water. And when water is cooled down, it changes into ice. So you can clearly see it and understand by the example also. Here the ice particles, because ice is solid, so particles are close together and they cannot move freely. When ice is heated, it melts, and on melting it converts into water. And it converts into water, and in water the space between the particles of the water, it is more. That means the particles are a little bit free to move. Whereas when we heat the water, then there is formation of vapors, and the vapor particles, they move far apart from each other very quickly and they undergo random motion. Melting point. When solid is heated, the particles begins to vibrate with greater speed and begins to move freely, because when any substance is heated, during heating the particles absorb the energy and start vibrating, due to which their motion increases, their speed increases, and then at a particular temperature the solid melts and changes into liquid. This is because the attraction force, due to vibration, the attraction force between the particles, it breaks. As a result, the particles move away from each other, resulting in conversion of the state of the substance or matter. So here we say that the solid, when it is heated, the particles of the solid, they began to vibrate and they move freely, due to which solid melts and it changes into liquid. The process of melting is also known as fusion. The temperature at which the solid melts is called melting point, and the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius, or we say 273 Kelvin. Latent heat of fusion. The amount of heat energy which is required to change 1 kilogram of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is called latent heat of fusion. It is the amount of energy which is absorbed by the particles of one state to convert into the other state without changing the temperature. For example, when ice is heated, the particles of ice, they absorb the heat energy and convert from solid to the liquid, that means from ice to water state. And in water, when we check the temperature of ice and water, then it remains the same. That means the temperature has not increased. Here you can see that this is the ice water. Here its level is 0 degrees Celsius. Ice is also there as well as water is also there. So the temperature is 0 degree Celsius. Now boiling. When liquid is heated, its particles begins to move even faster. When liquid is heated, the particles of the liquid, they are moving more faster because they have more kinetic energy. Then at a particular temperature, the liquid begins to boil and changes into gas, or we say vapor. So when we are continuously heating the liquid, it starts changing its state. That means from liquid state, it changes to the vapor state or the gaseous state. So boiling is what? It is a bulk phenomena. When liquid boils, the bulk of the liquid changes into vapor. The temperature at which the liquid starts boiling is called its boiling point, and the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, or we say 373 Kelvin. Latent heat of vaporization. It is the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of liquid into gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is called latent heat of vaporization. Here you can see that the diagram. Here the water is boiled and the water is boiling, and over here we can measure the temperature. Now here by this diagram we can see that the change in the state, effect of temperature on the molecular motion. This is the solid, it's cold, okay. The temperature of the solid is cold. But when we apply energy, that means when we apply temperature or when we heat the solid, the particles of the solid, they move far apart. That means they gain the energy and they start moving. They show random motion. So the space between the particles increases. Here you can see the space between the particles. Now next here, see the liquids. Already liquids are having some intermolecular spaces between them when the cold, and when we provide energy to it, when we heat it, then the space between the particles increases and they start moving further. Now sublimation. It is the change of state directly from solid to gas or from gas to solid. Okay, that means when the solid is heated without converting into liquid state, solid changes to gas state, or when gas is allowed to condense, then gas without converting to the liquid state, it changes to solid state. So that process is sublimation. For example, we have solid camphor or ammonium chloride. When it is heated, it changes into the vapor. You can see the diagram here. This is the burner. This is the burner. And this is the china dish. In china dish, we have taken the solution of ammonium chloride. When ammonium chloride is heated with the help of burner, then ammonium chloride is solid. It gains the heat and it changes to ammonium chloride vapors. These vapors, because this china dish is covered with inverted funnel and is plugged with cotton, so these vapors won't go out, and these vapors settle at the border of the funnel. So when we are heating ammonium chloride, the vapors, ammonium chloride is converted into vapors, and these vapors settle at the margins of the inverted funnel, and afterwards when the temperature is lowered, then it solidifies. So this process is sublimation, because here solid ammonium chloride is converted into vapor form. Effect of pressure on gases. When pressure is applied on gas, the particles come closer and the gas changes to liquid. We can liquefy gases by applying pressure and reducing the temperature. This is because when pressure is applied, the kinetic energy of the particles increases. As a result, heat is generated because the particles start colliding with each other, and during collision, the energy is released. So to lower down the energy level, or to lower down the heat, temperature is reduced. So compressed solid carbon dioxide is called the dry ice. If the pressure is reduced, it changes directly to gas without coming into the liquid state. So here we say that solid carbon dioxide is an example of sublimation. So solid carbon dioxide is also known as dry ice. So we have an example of LPG, which was used in our home, in the kitchen, domestic cylinders. Okay, it contain LPG. LPG is an example of compressed gas. LPG is a gas which is compressed under high pressure and low temperature, so that it convert into liquid form. Okay, so that is the effect of pressure on the gas. Gas is pressurized and is converted into liquid. For liquefaction, we are applying pressure and we are reducing the temperature. Interconversion of the three states of matter. The states of matter, they are interconvertible. That means solids can be converted to liquid, liquid can be converted to gas, gas can be converted to liquid, and liquid can be converted to solid, and solid can be converted to gas, or gas can be converted to solid. So here interconversion occurs. You can see over here sublimation process. That means gas is converted into solid, and solid is converted to gas. So this process is sublimation. Solid is converted to liquid. So this is fusion, and liquid is converted to solid, that is solidification. When liquid is converted to gas, then we call it as vaporization, and when gas is condensed, it converts into liquid, then process is condensation. Evaporation. The change of liquid into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. Here the temperature is increasing. We are changing the temperature. We are increasing the temperature so that the liquid can change into the vapor state, and that process is called as evaporation. Evaporation is a surface phenomena. That means the particles which are present on the surface evaporate or gain the energy and change their state from liquid to the vapor form. So particles from the surface gain enough energy to overcome their force of attraction and changes to vapor state. Factors affecting evaporation. The rate of evaporation depends upon number 1, surface area, temperature, humidity and wind speed. Increase in the surface area increases the rate of evaporation. When the surface area is more, the rate of evaporation will be more. Increase in temperature increases the rate of evaporation. At high temperature, rate of evaporation increases. Increase in humidity decreases the rate of evaporation. When there is more humidity, when there is more moisture content in the environment, then the rate of evaporation decreases. Increase in wind speed increases the rate of evaporation. When the wind speed increases, that means when air blows fastly, during that time the rate of evaporation increases. Here you can see that surface phenomena. Evaporation is a surface phenomena, that the molecules which are present on the surface, they are having high kinetic energy and they absorb more energy and then they escape from each other. That means the attraction force between the molecules, it breaks and they are released in the environment and convert their state from liquid to the vapor state.